the thing and build. And we also need to go in and get the things all set up. Working on that. And we're going to turn this off of where? Over here. Right there. We're actually going to turn this off from local supply. We're just going to turn that to local storage. And that way the pieces that are going off to get this aren't getting stuck on their process through. Of course, now that we have that done, we don't need a lot of this. And so we can take it down. We can take a lot of that. We can put that there. What can we get rid of for the time being? So we can actually take these down. Take most of that down, and we're gonna go put it up elsewhere. Just like that. We'll put all the blue science there. All the red science there. And then we will because all of our science is now being put in this, we can now dump everything we've got on hand. In here. Nothing in there is needed. Alrighty. Now we can go take down the yellow. Science. Which is right there. Which means this is no longer needed. Just like that. And we will grab 300 of these, 300 of those. And there we go. Now we can start cleaning up our little beginning base. Just a little bit. There are some things, mainly just the stuff that we were using for the science. Because we'll move those elsewhere. But we'll leave all of the basic assembly stuff. And that will start actually filling up and providing for other things. Geez, the moment I misclick things and panic ensues. Usually my own fault, but we're gonna stop using the inventory. There we go. The research is happening a lot faster than it was earlier. Whereas we were waiting for things to produce and get here, and now things are going at a little bit of faster clip. Still not as fast as I would like it, but it's still a lot faster than it was. A lot of that's going to be we need to research not only size inventory, which is what's being researched now, I believe. Yeah, logistics carrier capacity, which is going to increase our logistic vessels carrying capacity by a whopping 100 units, which is helpful. That means each one of these logistics will be carrying 300, which means 3,000 items at a time. Which would be insanely useful. Which means that they each do 5, that means they each are pulling in 1,500 items now instead of the 1,000 that they were doing. And then, of course, with this next one, it will increase it by a further 100 capacity. 100 points of capacity, which will in turn increase that to 2,000 for every 5 ships, which means that our items will start saturating much faster. Which means things will produce faster. Which means I have to worry about less. Thus why research is ideal. Now, can we figure out why? Oh, maybe not. And because we want this to fill up a little bit faster, we're going to start producing it on all 3 of them. And so all of those are going to both back and forth. Because there's only one viable option, so we'll fill up that red piece much faster. Alrighty.
Mineral depleted.
Oh, I love my science. If only purple science would get going. We're just missing. Got plenty of the particle broadbands. It's the processors we don't have enough of. Mainly because the particle broadbands are using the processors. That's usually about how it goes. So what it will do is it will fill up this side. No, it's not. No, what is using my process? Oh, I know it's using the processors right now. Processors are being pulled by this thing right here, which isn't a bad thing, but it's definitely not helpful. That and this. So until this one fills up, after it puts in, I think it's 50 of each, or maybe it's 20 of each. I don't remember. But that's going to be the end of this video here. We're going to end it here. We have built our science. We are now chewing through science at a very decent pace now. So we're going to leave it at that. I will handle our power issue later. Probably do that at a different time. But we now have this taken care of. Our science is up and running. We're able to research a lot of different things, and we have our purple science ready to go. So we're going to get that going, which will allow us to move on our way to making our green science, which is where? Where's our green science? Right here. Our green science. Which, oddly enough, doesn't require purple science to actually research. But to be able to do the research, you have to research the quantum chip, which does require purple science. Like, the makers need to fix that. If purple science is required to make this part, it should be required to make the next science. Same thing with the purple science. It only takes the red science, but to be able to research the purple science, you have to have the yellow science. Like, I understand where they're getting at, but I understand that you require the yellow science to be able to research that, but that allows you to then build up the yellow science. Well, you're already using the yellow science to begin with. So why not just use the yellow science in the science? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. But it works, so that's really all that matters. So, and then once we have that, that's in queue. Once we have the purple science, so we can start researching that. Let's see here. Once we have the green science, then we can start unlocking some things. Our next thing is to get power, and that's a lot of power, so we're going to be focusing on deuterium. Where is it? The deuterium fuel rod, wherever that happens to be at the moment. I'll just bring it up here. The deuterium fuel rod, which once again, where is it? Right here. The deuterium fuel rod, which means we need to go back to our planet and we need to start starting the process for supermagnetic rings, which I think is actually already being produced. Yes, it's already being produced on our factory planet, because without those we wouldn't be able to build the conveyor belts, the Mark III conveyor belts specifically. So, we already have that. We will need to build the titanium alloy on our production planet, and then after that we also need to build the deuterium. We're going to do that one of two ways. First way is going to be the faster and probably the less energy intensive way, and that is to use the fractionator to get a 1% chance, or with proliferating it, a 2% chance of converting hydrogen into deuterium. However, we can get a full range of deuterium without much use in that, and I'll show you that build here in just a little bit. Or the build that I was in the process of designing and then found someone who had already designed it as I was surfing YouTube. Unfortunate for me, but so I can't claim to having actually built the design. I was in the process of building the design because that made the most sense to me, but someone beat me to it and actually had already had it posted. But you'll be able to get to see the design, and you can easily get a full line of deuterium that uses far less power than that. So for example, to work, the fractionator uses 720 kilowatts per device, whereas the miniature particle collider uses 12 megawatts under full workload. We can use a miniature particle collider. We do need it for other things, but in our case, the fractionator is just better. Just hands down, is just better. Because to make a full line on a miniature particle collider, you're going to be making deuterium here at 10, and it's going to make 5 every 2.5 seconds. Which is a lot faster than the 1% chance of doing that. But to do that, you would need, I think it's to get a full belt, a full Mark III belt, which moves items at 30 per second. We need to be making 30 per second on that. So we have 5 every, in this recipe, it's 5 every, where is it? That's, yeah, here we are. It's 5 every 2.5 seconds. So 2.5 seconds for 5. So let's put that up to, if we had 30, that's 30 every, hold on a second, I'm trying to do math. If we do 5 every 2.5 seconds, we need 2.5 seconds. That means for 10 every 10 seconds. So that's 1 a second would be, sorry, no, that's 20 every 10 seconds. Because we have 10 every 5 seconds, which is 2 a second. So 2 a second, which is already 10. Sorry, that's already 4 particle colliders for 2 a second. We need 30 a second. So if we have, for a full belt, we need 30 per second. So if we have 30 seconds, so if we got 2 a second, so wow, math is hard right at the moment. I'm usually pretty good at math. So if we have 2 a second with 4 particle colliders, a second with 4 particle colliders, is 2 a second. We need 30 a second. So we have 4 at 2 a second. To get 30 a second, we need 15. So we need 4 times 15. Because we need to make 30 a second. Which means we need a total of 60 particle colliders to make a full belt. Wow, that math was so difficult for me for a little bit because my brain just wouldn't math. Math is hard. Why they send you to school to do math? That is for that. Well, if you take that, that's 60 particle colliders. Assuming I've done my math right, that's 60 particle colliders times the 12 megawatts under full load, which means we need 720 megawatts worth of power. Yeah, I don't think we're getting to that anytime soon. That, and I don't think that there's enough room on a planet for 60 of those. They're pretty beefy machines. The fabricators just they're more condensed and easier to manipulate, in my opinion. Or not manipulate, they're easier to kind of put into place, and you don't need a whole lot to build them. Well, let's save the particle colliders for the other things that we need, such as the strange matter, which the only way you can make them is in a particle collider, which we need deuterium for. So that's neither here or there. We'll show that. I'll show that in a different video and how to get that set up. But other than that, thanks for joining me. If you liked the video, do hit the subscribe or the like button. Sorry. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Do hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos and see them as they come out, and it will notify you. Other than that, if you know someone else who might like the video, go ahead and feel free to share that with them. And we will see you in the next video.